Hey team, welcome back to Spec. You ever had one of those days it's like the best day ever and then 2 seconds later it turns into a nightmare? Well, I've had a couple, but unfortunately my latest one was when I took the dark horse and the Mach 1 to the track and I ran out of talent and I put the Mach 1 in the wall. Today I'm going to have a bit of a look and see what I've broken and make a bit of a plan of what I'm going to do next. Come on, let's get into it. I'm going to start with the obvious, the rear quarter panel. It bore the bulk of the brunt. I'm actually quite annoyed with myself here. I don't blame myself for the oversteer. I'd had that a number of times through that corner over the day. I'm not worried about the snap, I just read the changing conditions wrong because again, what I'd been doing through that corner all day, the track couldn't take. But what I do kick myself about is once the car rotated, I kept the lock on. So effectively, I've reverse parked it into the wall. If I'd opened the steering up, I'm not saying that I wouldn't have hit the wall, but it would have been nowhere near as violent. You can actually see here where the first tyre bundle was located, and then, beside it, the second. Looking at the boot, I don't think it actually touched the wall. There's very light paint transfer on the side of the spoiler, but look at that, it mostly rubs off. And the boot opens no worries. The front edge does slightly rub on the quarter, but that's because the quarter is so jacked up, not the boot. On the inside, the subwoofer hasn't moved. But what does it look like behind it? Well, let's start taking some bits out. So after removing the sub, the plastic boot trim and the boot liner, I can start to see what's going on underneath. Actually, this is a bit worse than I'd hoped. We can see the outer skin has been pushed all the way to the inner structure. There are a number of electrical connections and modules that are squished between the two. Any thinner inner metal mounts or brackets seem to be bent too. Makes sense, just unfortunate. You can see the spot welds for the outer skin here. That lower section is all jacked up too, so that'll need to be replaced at the same time. Oh, and the edge of the taillight bucket is damaged. The taillight itself is only just broken. I originally thought I'd got away with it. It still works properly, but there's a small section of the lens broken from the corner. Now that I've pulled the taillight out, I doubt it's going back in. It was a mission to get it to come out from behind the damaged quarter. The rear bumper is busted and the insert's all scuffed up, so they're toast. This reflector still looks mint. At least something survived back here. The door skin is all busted up from when it slapped the wall, and at the same time the mirror banged up against the glass. I thought it originally scuffed the glass, but having a harder look, I think it might be okay. It all got bent in just the right way that the door doesn't catch on the guard when it opens and closes. But internally, it's all straight. And we can easily look at the lower sill because I removed the side skirt when I parked it in the tyres. Other than a bit of paint transfer, the sill's straight and undamaged. Obviously the guard is damaged and along with it the front bumper, including the upper and lower spreader and one of the corner grille inserts, but the indicator is still schmick. Actually the car must have bounced off the tyre wall with some good force because the rear tyre rolled so much that it took some grasp when it straightened up, and the lower splitter has been broken away from the bumper, so it must have bit the ground too. It's actually funny. I've spent almost 4 years being so careful to not scrape that lower splitter, and in 2 seconds I destroyed it. It's a bit liberating actually. I'm not as concerned about it anymore. Well, this is all my doing. You never know. You could be out on the street and a truck sideswipe you, and you would still need to repair all the things that I do here. Time to open the bonnet. This will actually be the first time I've opened it. Hopefully it closes again. Under here looks alright. A bit dusty. Ah, that's why the headlight is a bit skew-if. Looks like the guard headlight bracket is pointing down. It should be straight out. Bugger. Oh, and the bonnet. I almost got away with it, but nope, there's a bit of a fold down here on the front edge. But what does it look like underneath? In the front, I know the steering is broken because when they tried to tow me back to the pits, it just went straight. So for the rest of the afternoon, she sat in the middle of the track until we could recover her. Alright, I'm going to pull the wheel off and have a look. I'm hoping 2 things don't happen. 1, when I jack it up, the whole corner doesn't fall out. And 2, once I get the wheel off, it actually goes back on again. You know what, I might try pumping the tyre up first. When it went into the wall, the only warnings I got was tyre pressure. The back was reading 0 psi, but that tyre come completely off the rim. And the front still had 9 psi in it. It could be flat now because the air is cooled and pressured right down. Nope, looks like it has a leak. Oh, it's got ruck stuck between the tyre and the rim. That's not going to help. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, that's broken. So as expected, the tyre end has broken off. That's why it doesn't turn. But look at this front control arm. That's supposed to be straight. I think I'd need to paint it banana yellow now. But other than that, it doesn't look too bad under here. The strut looks okay. I can't see any bending or damage. I can't tell if the other control arm is bent or not, but it's definitely being deflected because of the shape of the other one. But yeah, all in all, much better in here than I expected. I'm actually surprised. The car's been sitting here for a while and it hasn't bled on the floor. I was expecting something to be leaking from somewhere. Alright. Wheel back on, put it down and check the back. I'm not sure if you can tell, but the rear wheel has a bit of toe going on. Okay, let's have a look. To be fair, I can't see anything that is obviously damaged in here. I wonder if the force of the impact rotated the eccentric bolt. Let's do a bit of a wheel alignment. Hey, that's looking pretty good. Inside, another place where I stuffed up. I should have pulled the airbag fuse before the day. I'm wearing a helmet and the crash wasn't so bad to need them to deploy. The interior would have been perfect if they hadn't gone off. But now the roof line is all pushed out of shape. I have a JDM curtain mod going on and the side of the seats are split. I'm also going to need a new seatbelt. The automatic retraction on these worked really good. When it went into the barrier, I started to get ejected from the seat and then it pulled me back in. It was tight as hell too when it went off. I'm not going to lie, she's pretty jacked up. But I really don't think she's a total loss. Looks like my next project is rebuilding a Mustang. On the face of it, I'm going to need a bumper, upper splitter, lower splitter, corner grille, headlight, bonnet, door, mirror, quarter panel skin, lower quarter panel area, tail light bucket, tail light, rear bumper, rear insert, side skirt, both control arms, tie rod end, new tyres, curtain and seat airbags, and a driver seatbelt. To follow along with the rebuild, don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, remember, there's more to going fast than going fast. Catch you later.